Hi, I'm Tyler S.J., and this is Waupaca Local Live.
Though no one was asking, said guess what I'm thinking. That answer for he could respond. Said no clothes seem to fit, and I'd hate if they did. And all our best friends have moved on. A bird knows its cage just gets more cramped with age. Good thing we're humans, he said. You know what I mean? Some days I could just scream. Know what I'm thinking instead. She said, just take me dancing where nobody knows us. Nobody cares who we are. I'm so sick of this city. The clock just keeps spinning and the thermos is full in the car. I don't care where we land, jukebox or band. Find us that last neon light. All that I'm asking is just take me dancing tonight. Just a water for me, Bud Light for my lady. And he shuddered when he said it that way. And despite years of practice, the rhythm he lacked was worth the price of admission, she'd say. One flip of her hair, same way that she used to, back when these old songs were new. I'll be hurting tomorrow, so far away. One more before curfew. Won't you just take me dancing where nobody knows us, nobody cares who we are. I'm so sick of this city, the clock just keeps spinning and the thermos is full in the car. I don't care where we land, jukebox or band. Find us that last neon light. All that I'm asking is just take me dancing tonight. She snored on her shoulder, heading back toward the city. The radio murmurs and purrs. Here's one by request. It's don't stop believing. He reaches for the dial, but demurs. Back before bills and dishes, they stacked all their wishes. Us against the world, ain't that right? Takes her hand as she's sleeping, top of his lungs, searching somewhere in the night. Won't you just take me dancing where nobody knows us, nobody cares who we are. I'm so sick of this city, the clock just keeps spinning and the thermos is full in the car. I don't care where we land, jukebox or band. Find us that last neon light. All that I'm asking, all that I'm asking, all that I'm asking is just take me dancing tonight.
Hi everybody, this is Merci Beaucoup and we are on Waupaca Local Live. Our first show of the season, and we've got Tyler here in the studio. Tyler S.J., it's really awesome to finally have you on the show.
So good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we met a little while ago.
Years and years ago.
In Appleton.
Yeah.
At the Waupaca.
The Waupaca,
right?
I used to play those too.
Yeah, so that was a festival that we used to do in Appleton with the Baba Ganoush band, and one of the people in our band had this big festival for his kids nonprofit, and it was like a music. It was like Woodstock in his
It
backyard.
was a wild
right?
time, yeah.
It was pretty wild, and Tyler was on that stage, and man, your songs have just gotten better and better over the years. So
Thank you, I appreciate
it's really
that.
awesome. So tell me a little bit about that first song.
Well, that song, it's called Take Me Dancing. I wrote it beginning of last year for the album that I put out last year, which
Okay.
is called Long Bit of Weather. It was the last song I wrote right when we were finishing up recording it. I wanted something that was a little bit more upbeat.
Okay.
The album was kind of a downer in a way, so I wanted to have like at least one.
Big surprise.
So I wanted to have at least one song that was like not that.
Not so
and
down, yeah.
and like I wanted to. I like waltzes, you know. So
Yeah.
I kind of like was just messing around with different waltz ideas, and that's the one that came.
So a waltz, you want to just describe what a waltz is?
Yeah, just a 3/4, like a
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Three,
2,
1,
2,
2,
3.
3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's a
And-
little bit different than an average rock song, which is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, and like,
Right?
and especially like when I play with other people, you know, like playing with a drummer loves to have a waltz to
Do
match
they
around.
really?
Oh, yeah. At least the one I play with, Rick
Oh,
Armstrong
okay.
really loves it. Yeah, so
He likes waltzes.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so Tyler, you are a singer-songwriter. You've been doing a lot of your own original music, and I know in your bio you mentioned you do. No, you didn't say obscure covers. You
I
said.
wouldn't say obscure.
What did you call them? You had a name for it. I was trying to remember.
Unexpected? Is that what it's
Unexpected, right, right.
I mean-
so like those B-sides or those really cool songs that didn't really get a lot of air.
Well, I think more
or-
like I'm like a '90s kid,
Okay.
and like I was kind of raised on VH1, so like I liked, you know, like talking to a lot of like other singer-songwriters. Like I was raised on John Prine and Johnny Cash, and like I was not at all. So like I kind of play the songs that I liked, which were like soundtrack songs from the '90s, and like, you know, songs from the Pretty Woman soundtrack, and just kind of.
Okay.
So when I say unexpected, I think it's like I wouldn't expect a singer-songwriter to
Okay.
like those songs.
So that's funny you mentioned soundtrack songs. So like movies, there was a certain point where movies started putting, you know, like classic rock or popular music as their soundtrack instead of
Right.
having like the John Williams soundtrack,
Right.
right? And I have to say, like, you know, I work at the Arts Hub, and a lot of the kids, you know, I teach piano and work with a rock band, and when you ask them what music they listen to, they almost always will either name a game or a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, what songs?
Yeah.
Well, you know, this movie, you know, and I think that's where people get their music now.
Yeah, and I think, well, the soundtracks, especially in the '90s, were a big thing. Where like, that was part of the marketing of the movie, you know.
Okay.
So.
Now you came into music later in life. You mentioned
did.
to me, so you're not somebody that's been playing guitar since they were 9 years old.
No. So like,
Tell me about that. Tell
my
me how it
mom,
happened.
my mom is a music teacher, like a piano teacher.
Oh.
And
so you rebelled.
I
No
did.
music.
I did. My older brothers took lessons from her, and like learning. I know now, like learning from your parents is really difficult.
Yes.
You know, so like I would mess around, but I never got a guitar until I was out of college or close to it.
Wow.
And like I had picked up a ukulele. It was a really nice like Martin ukulele that I found at a guitar shop.
Okay.
And like I got like reasonably good at this. And so my younger brother was like, "It's really stupid. Like if you're gonna be playing a stringed instrument," and he played guitar, and so he got me one. I moved to Oregon like right at the end of college for like 8 months just to kind of find myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a guitar because I didn't have any friends, and that's kind of where I like learned how
Your
to play.
friend, your guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's funny.
And
And,
so
no
then-
disrespect to ukuleles, everybody.
I should clarify that too.
no,
because
but see, I would say the exact same thing that you said, and then I'd get some hate mail. But
Well-
you know, really, honestly, a ukulele is a fun instrument.
it's an
to
extremely
play.
fun instrument. And actually, like
It's very
last week,
accessible.
I saw Kurt Gunn playing at Gibson in Appleton last week, and the ukulele band from Milo Music was opening for him.
Oh,
And they were
cool.
incredible. So like I really
Yeah.
should caveat that because
know.
I went in kind of with some misgivings and I was blown away. Like, okay, I
Yeah.
take back every negative
Make
thing
sure you
about
tell your brother that.
it. I will.
Yeah.
I will.
We got to respect the ukulele,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's not as complex and versatile as a guitar. Honestly, right? So a guitar is like another notch into being a musician.
Sure.
Right. So you got your guitar,
Yeah, and
friend
like
slash guitar.
my friend slash guitar, and so like I wasn't like gigging or writing songs or anything really. So I would say my first like proper gig, I bet I was 25 or 26.
Okay.
And around that time was when I moved to Wisconsin. I think I was like in my late 20s, so around 2010 or 2009, somewhere in there. And I had met a guy in North Dakota who had really like pushed. He'd heard me play a couple original songs.
Okay.
He was like, if you ever get serious about it, I'll come out to Wisconsin. I'll play with you. And he did. And so like that was kind of when I caught the bug. I was in my late 20s before I really caught like the performing bug. And like I've always been a writer. I was an English major and I write articles for Appleton Monthly.
Actually, I've seen that you do publish quite a bit of written material.
Yeah, and so like...
Do you have a column still? You used to have a column.
I write a column for Appleton Monthly, the back
Okay.
page. I've written it for 9 years or so.
Okay.
And so like... So I think they're kind of siblings in a way. Like I've always figured that a column takes about 3 to 4 minutes to land. You know, like a 600 or 700 word column is like about a 3-minute read. It's not that different from a song.
Right.
You know, and my songs are kind of story songs in a way too. So.
That is interesting. So I always like to ask people when you're writing music, what comes first, the music, the melody, or is it the words? And you're one of the words guys, I bet.
Yeah, but I mean, like I think it's I would say it's song to song. I've never known how to answer that question, because like I usually it'll be like my kids and wife have gone to sleep, and I'm just milling around the house, like walking around with my guitar, just playing until something sticks. Mm-hmm. And so like if it's a riff or like a melody that I've already like had in my head, usually I'll try to find the story that way.
Okay.
Or else like, you know, now that I'm writing songs all the time, it's more like you just kind of pick them out of the air, like last leaf on a tree, like the song I'm going to play in a little bit, like looking at a tree, like, oh, it's the last leaf up there.
And then so that idea just sort of kind of tickles your music muse.
Yeah.
When you have an idea, like a
Kind
verbal
of.
idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. So you got your guitar and you started playing, I think what I remember you saying and what I actually remember, weren't you in a band called The Relics?
I was in The Relics, yeah. So we played we were just we were kind of a 4-piece folk rock band.
Okay.
We had a mandolin and box drum and stuff. We were a cool band. I think we could have, like, if we would have stuck with it, we could have done pretty well. But, like, we didn't practice and, like, we didn't write a lot. Like, we were just kind of having fun. And that's why we went to Waupaca and everywhere else, you know. But like,
you were on the list one year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, we played the first mile of music, and then it kind of got into, like, people are getting married, moving off, and stuff like that. It just, we just kind of fizzled out. There wasn't, like, a breakup, really. It just stopped happening.
You just moved on.
Yeah.
Kind of let go of it.
And then I was out of music. Like, I would still play, like, weddings and stuff here and there, you know? But, like, I didn't really, like, pursue gigs at all, you know, for many years. And I didn't have any gear or anything. I just had a guitar. And so, like, it wasn't until after COVID and 2021, and I quit drinking in 2021.
Okay.
And so, like, it was probably a year after that of just kind of, like, playing around my house, like, got all these songs. And, like, a lot of it was wanting to play my old songs that I felt like I got to record these at some point, you know? Because, like, if not, then they'll just sit there. And, like, some of them I thought and still do think that they were pretty decent, you know? And so then around that time I started writing new songs too. And, like, then I kind of started, you know, going out to, like, I was friends with Michael Grabner from Appleton, who's a huge catalyst in just getting me out there and keeping me going a little bit. And just so I would pick up gigs here and there, and, like, little by little, this was only like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Right.
You know, and
Well, it's funny you say 2020. We're 2025 now, and COVID kind of seems like a long time ago, but it really isn't a long time ago.
well, especially because it changed everyone.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think you know, especially as, like, everything, especially for the next few years, will be pre-COVID and post-COVID. And, like,
Right.
that seems like my big post-COVID thing is that I quit drinking and started playing music.
Yeah.
You know?
So you're going to play the leaf on the tree, the
Sure.
last leaf on the tree song. Tell us a little bit about this song before you play it.
Well, I mean, the idea of it was that after like a few things, you know, relating to, like, well, frankly, like, after the election, I felt like a lot of my friends who were in kind of like marginalized groups felt very isolated. And that's kind of what the song is about.
Okay.
And so, like, I wouldn't say it's biographical. I wouldn't say like it's even from my perspective, honestly. But it was just kind of like kind of like a, not like a rage song, but kind of like a, where is everybody sort of song.
Okay.
So that's the last leaf on the tree. You want to hear it?
Yeah, we do want to hear it. This is Tyler S.J. on Waupaca Local Live.
Move the tables, lose the time.
Hold me close, don't, darling, I don't mind. Say don't go fixing what still works. Parts of me still spinning, forgot how to hurt. Forgot how to hurt. They say your closed mouth don't catch no foot. I'm just so tired of talking, not so sure I could. Where's the exhale, the judge's bell? Show me up from down, darling, I can't tell. I wish I'd known this sooner, it snuck up on me too. Won't hold up to scrutiny, don't know just what's true. So tell me what I'm missing, tell me something's left for me. Where the last leaves on the tree, the last leaves on the tree. Push me in the double red, no one would ask you twice. Just promise that you'll join me, darling, where we're hard to find. I used to think the danger was loud and loaded gun. Thought this tree was full of leaves, now I'm the only one. Are we the last one standing, just the last to know? Say you'll stay and well with me till it's time to go. Don't tell me what they're saying, 'cause it all sounds the same to me. We're the last leaves on the tree, the last leaves on the tree. Say you built me something beautiful, a city on a hill. The cup that runneth over, guess was always built to spill. Don't tell me what's around the corner, get there, say you'll sit with me. We're the last leaves on the tree, oh, the last leaves on the tree. Last leaves on the tree, last leaves on the tree. So move the tables, lose the time. Hold me close, don't, darling, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's a little heavy song.
Is it?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
But that's good. I think I really love it when we get people on the show that are focusing on lyrics, because I want to go back and listen to them and
Sure.
think about them. Reminds me of when we were younger and we would, well, I'm older than you, but we would just sit in our various friends' bedrooms and listen to music, and you'd have the album and you'd read the words and you would just go back over and over, and what do you think they meant?
Yeah.
You know, and it was really like a study. And, you know, a lot of musicians that we would listen to, I mean, they were, you know, like Stevie Wonder, of course, and James Taylor and Carole King and all those people. You would really have some great conversations about, you know, what do you think that it meant, and this is what it means to me.
Yeah.
And so I really love it when we have people who write lyrics that have that kind of bulk to them. in addition to the music.
Sure.
So. But you have a really good, interesting way of creating kind of like a hook in your music too.
Thanks.
Is
Appreciate
that something that you're doing on purpose, or is that just what kind of happens?
I mean, it kind of happens. I think you know, the people you mentioned are all heroes, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I do love a shamelessly catchy song, you know.
Yeah.
And usually, you know, writing choruses is my favorite part of, or like getting to if there's a killer bridge or something in there. Those are always my favorite parts of the song, whatever I'm listening to.
Yeah.
And so when I'm like in the Fox Valley, there's a lot of like good folky musicians, you know. And I love when we send songs back and forth, and like it's always what I'm picking out is like, oh, that bridge, so
yeah,
good.
you're listening for
Yeah.
your favorite parts. So are you part of any kind of a group of musicians, or do you just all know each other?
I mean, we
or-
kind of all know each other, and a lot of us record at Rock Garden with Mark Goldie. And so, like, you know, I don't know. I mean, like, the guy, like Kurt Gunn, Michael Grabner, Tom Thiel, Brad Berdini, like, it's a pretty close knit of guys who are friends also, you know? And, like, they were friends before I started playing around with them, too. So, like, I'm honored that they would consider me a buddy. But yeah, like, there's a lot of, like, and it's not the only group in town either. You know, like there's a lot of, like, there's a little bit like of a more like psychedelic folk that has kind of like their group of musicians too. There's a lot of like groups within the group sort of way.
So take me back to when you moved to the Fox River Valley or
Sure.
Appleton, right? What year was that you?
I moved up here the
Called it
Super Bowl
home.
year, so 2010, 2011.
Okay.
And I'd been in Milwaukee for 2 years before that. That's where I met my wife,
Okay.
who's from up here.
Are you originally from Dakota?
North Dakota, yeah.
North Dakota.
Yeah.
Huh, they have music there?
We have music, indoor plumbing, all the crazy things, you know? But it's funny because, like, no one knows anyone from North Dakota. So, like, I'll meet people.
I actually know someone from North
Do you?
Dakota, but yeah, I mean, they would say the same
There's a
thing.
better than good chance that I probably also know them.
Yeah.
There's not many of us. But so, like, people will be like, you know, oh, I went to Mount Rushmore when I was a kid. Like, it's great. It's not my state. Or they saw Fargo. But I love though, like when I moved here, you know, I'd run into people like, oh, I know you from somewhere. I'd be like, you've never seen me in your life. You know, I kind of enjoyed that about moving somewhere new. You know.
But do you consider like the Appleton area your home now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it's really similar to North Dakota in a way, and I didn't like Milwaukee. I didn't like I love the city. I didn't like the traffic. I would lose sleep worrying about like where my car was parked and stuff like that. Like I didn't love that
There's
part.
a layer of stress that we don't
Yeah,
know.
and I did not
Right.
I didn't take to that.
Okay.
And so moving up here, it was a lot slower, and the downtown of Appleton, I'd put against any downtown anywhere, and it reminded me of Fargo, which is not like my hometown, but it's a very similar downtown.
Okay.
And so, you know, all mid-sized cities probably have about similar downtown.
Yeah.
But like, what really hooked me was the Christmas parade.
Oh.
I was like, I'm ready to
Yeah.
put down.
So let's talk about that a little bit. And I know there was something else I wanted to talk about, but since you mentioned Christmas, you have a Christmas
I do, yeah.
album. That's not normal for people to write Christmas albums.
know.
You know, I mean, that was just really heartwarming to find that out and to listen to your Christmas music.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
awesome. So tell us a little bit about what made you write a Christmas. You must love Christmas.
I do
right?
love Christmas, and I love contemporary Christmas music. And I love, like, going back to the 90s, I used to, like, always buy, like, 1 or 2 Christmas albums every year. And they would be largely original. Like, maybe not written by the person performing them, but, like, I remember, like, Sawyer Brown was, like, a country band, and they had a Christmas album that was just banger after banger. And they were all originals.
Wow.
And so, like, over the years, I've kind of written 1 or 2 Christmas songs a year over the last, like, 3 years. And then I had one that was, like, 17 years old that's on the album. And when I started thinking about, like, what did I want to do after the album I put out in April, like, I knew I wanted to record something again, but, like, around Mile of Music, around August, I was like, at that time I had 6 Christmas songs. I'm like, I'm going to bang out a couple more and go and record them and just see what we've got. you know,
That's
because
fun.
like at Rock Garden, it's a mile as the crow flies from my house. You know, I can go there
Okay.
anytime, and there's kind of a, you know, a house group of people. And I knew that it was such a, like you said, it's kind of a novelty. So I knew I could call on like some buddies to come in and play. And I talked to like Ross Catterton from Kyle Magna's band, and Molly Levine from Raglanders, you know, and everyone kind of just did, you know, I'm on every song, but most people are on like one or two songs.
Oh, that's
You know,
really
so
cool.
like, so it was a really collaborative thing, and it was really, really fun, and went over really well. And I mean, I wouldn't rule out doing it again in a couple of years.
Where do you, like, do you do any distribution of your music? So, you know, people are doing all different things. Some people are back to, you know, pressing vinyl.
Right.
Some people are still selling CDs. Some people are just strictly digital.
I print CDs. I mean, if, you know, vinyl is expensive. I think it's probably a couple grand just for the print. You know, like, I will continue to print CDs, but honestly, like, I don't think about it that much. You know, like I think part of getting into music late is that the stakes are lower. You know, I don't feel like this huge pressure to
To
make it
make
or whatever.
it or
you know?
make your living on it.
Like
completely.
talking to you is making it in a way.
Oh,
You know, but I mean, like, I don't mean that in like a
No,
Pollyanna
no,
way.
you're just doing the music and you aren't caught up into any of the side hustles of it.
Well, I mean, I'm as much in the hustles as everyone else, and I am hustling, but I don't feel like this huge pressure either to be like, okay, this has got to be the song that breaks or whatever.
Okay.
You
yeah.
know, like I submit to playlists on Spotify and whatnot, and all like the little things that you kind of have to do to get any traction a little bit. There's kind of a game you have to play. But really, I mean, I enjoy writing. Like the writing and recording is probably my favorite part of it.
Okay.
You know?
So do you ever think about what it would be like if you were before social media? Like, how would you have approached it? I mean, it's such a different
I mean,
thing. You know, it's in some ways it makes music and making music and recording music so much more accessible, but then
It
there's
does,
that
but-
psychological part of it of,
well, I remember
Is it
reading
worth
something that Rob Anthony had said that was like the churn of continually having to put out music, because that's kind of what it is. It's like you got to keep feeding the beast. It's like a content machine in a way. And so like I think that's the only pressure I really feel, is that like I got to keep recording stuff. You know, I feel like after the Christmas album did pretty well, I'm like, well, I got to keep like my monthly, you know, numbers up high. So like I do feel that sort of pressure. But
Okay.
like what's interesting about it is that Michael Grabner, who's somebody I think about quite a bit, he puts out like a song at a time. So when you talk about like how do you distribute music, like a lot of people are not putting out albums, because if you
Right.
put out an album, it kind of comes and goes. That was kind of my thinking about putting out a Christmas album, was that like, well, at least I know that like it's going to go on Christmas playlists that they're going to come back to next year. And that's kind of what happened, was like it landed on a bunch of people's playlists.
okay.
You know, so like, it's not that I don't think about it. You know what I mean? Like I think I think the era of continually like going back in the studio, putting out an album every 2 or 3 or 4 years for like a person who's, you know, doing all of it himself is kind of over. I mean, especially if you're not a band. You know, I don't have to like necessarily coordinate with 5 other people to
Right. It's a little more freeing when you
yeah.
don't have to do that.
And like,
Yeah.
you know, I had a song come out today that I'll play in a little bit, but like, it was, you know, I wrote the song on Sunday. I sent it to Tom Theo, who plays guitar on it, on Monday. We recorded it on Thursday, and it came out today.
Wow.
You know, like it was a week and a half process. Like that doesn't happen if you're
In a band.
coordinating with a
Right.
band, or you're thinking
Right.
about like, where does this fit on the album?
Right.
You know, it's just a different mindset, kind of.
Okay. What's your next song that you're going to play?
I'm gonna play Santa Fe, which is
Santa Fe.
it's one I'm gonna record this year,
Okay.
probably next. Let's see what string was bad. And it's just kind of a broken heart song.
Okay. Is this autobiographical?
Not
or-
at all.
Okay, not at all.
No,
It's just a pure
no.
song that
It's
you
one
wrote.
that I definitely like was Like I always talk about like I was walking around the kitchen and had a cool riff. And then I like classic kind of like broken heart ballads a little bit. And so yeah.
Here we go. All right, Santa Fe, you guys. And this is Tyler S.J.
Wanted the apartment put in her name, an inch away the moment that you signed. Big words so full of small ideas and confidence that wasn't his. Don't worry, babe, we'll put the car in mine. You said before no living thing could keep it, like that was something normal people say. The last one there, first to go, and dying fire, dim and glow, wouldn't let her words get in the way. She said this getting old is getting old. You said yourself the hands you hold are for security and for show, but not the truth. And hanging on ain't hanging on with everything we're standing on, circumstances only known to you. Say that all you want is out in California. I think you only want what you can't see. I wish that I could say I won't be waiting for you. Hate to say you'd say the same for me. I bet you smear some lipstick on the way. For a while she makes you stay. Change your mind someday, but you don't make Santa Fe. Wasn't him to just say it was over. The more tense the talk, the longer it could wait. Keep a key and leave a shirt, and half the hope and twice the hurt, you said. Miss me with your hallmark talk of fate. All your hots and colds and ebbs and flows, skies inside your good guy glow. It's immaturity, misdirection, maybe both. We get along to get along, till all but just your stuff is gone. Chase a whim, well I just chase a ghost. You say that all you want is out in California. I think you only want what you can't see. Wish that I could say I won't be waiting for you. Hate to say you'd say the same for me. I bet you smear some lipstick on the way, and for a while she makes you stay. You change your mind someday, but you don't make Santa Fe. That you gon' know it fast. Every mile and tank of gas just rolls away. No, I don't know where I'm going next. No, I ain't going west. I'll never say. No, I'll never say. But it won't be Santa Fe. Bet you don't make Santa Fe. Say that all you want is out in California. Think you only want what you can't see. I wish that I could say I won't be waiting for you. Hate to say you'd say the same for me. I bet you smear some lipstick on the way, and for a while she makes you stay. change your mind someday, but you don't make Santa Fe. But you don't make Santa Fe.
A lot of good songs.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not going to play the bad ones for you.
Right.
You know?
Well, I'm sure that, you have some songs that you put time and energy into, and you're like, I don't really like that song.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And
What
I
do
mean,
you do with those?
I mean, you just don't play them very often. I mean, like there's ones that I like that like usually. I mean, you're a musician, like sometimes
Yeah.
there's ones that are just more fun to sing. There's lines that are more fun to sing. And like now that I'm playing quite a bit, I kind of vet them against reaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like initially I'd find that my instincts were wrong. There are ones that I'd think that like, oh, people are gonna love this one, and like they maybe responded to a different one better.
Yeah. That's always a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
But that's the way it is. So
market speaks.
You can still play those songs in between the ones that get the good reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't have so many songs that like I've got just a wealth of ones that are untouched.
So who are your favorite people to listen to when you were getting into music? Who influenced you, would you
I mean,
say?
I would say Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, Amos Lee is kind of like a more contemporary guy, but he's probably my favorite like modern singer-songwriter. And I steal a lot of his kind of like tricks and stuff. And John Mayer I'm a huge fan of John Mayer and his playing and stuff. I mean, I don't know, it goes day to day. And then like I said, like a lot of the local guys are incredible. And I think a lot of local guys' stuff stands up compared
There's just
to
a lot of local musicians now in the valley.
Yeah.
And I guess I feel like I credit that to Mile Music.
I think so. I think
Dave Willems has done a lot for that community.
yeah, and I liked it. I mean, yeah, like I said that I'd been out of music for a long time, and I can't imagine anywhere better to be to come back in and try to play again.
Yeah.
Like because the town is and the area in general is extremely supportive of original music.
What are some of the places that you play more regularly live?
I mean, I like playing at Gibson a lot. That's the sound there is great.
Yeah.
Stone Arch is a great place, nice little room. I really like, honestly, do you know what Tipsy Taco is?
Yes.
So I call that the lab, because like when I first started playing, I'm friends with the owner, and I'd be like, yeah, come play a 3-hour show, where I don't have 3 hours of original music anyway. And so I like playing there. I kind of go out there and try stuff out.
I didn't know they had music.
They pretty much just have me. I mean, I think they've got some other people from time to time, but
That's funny. It's not like a place you'd think would have music.
No.
I mean, isn't that the overflow from?
Not really.
other
They've got a
music
different thing
concerts?
going. They're like a
Okay.
taco place.
Oh, okay.
They're
Cool.
excellent place, by the way.
Yeah, the parking lot is always full. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
But yeah, there's a lot of really good places in
Cool.
Appleton and around. I like going up to Door County. There's a couple places in Door County that I've kind of gotten into.
Cool.
That I go
And
up
then
there
that's
pretty
like a
regularly.
vacation as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, cool. All right, is there anything else you want us to know about what your scheme is or what your goals are with music? I guess what is your goal? You're just gonna keep playing music?
Just keep playing. I mean, it's
Keep
like
playing, enjoy it?
it won't be long. I've got my wife and I have 2 little boys. One's 6 and one's almost 4, and it won't be
Okay.
long before they're in sports and stuff, and I don't have Thursday nights free to come hang out with you.
Yeah.
So like I'm just gonna keep, recording, and as long as I enjoy doing it, I'll keep doing it.
So your kids are you thinking that they're gonna take music lessons of any type?
Not
Do they
for
have
me.
any interest?
I mean, they both do. They both have really, really great singing voices, actually.
Oh, really?
Like I love it. And like kids' singing voices are adorable anyway.
Yeah.
But like they've got really good pitch and they remember things.
Have you ever thought of doing any children's music? Like, have you written any children's songs?
Well, I mean, the Christmas album had that Lion Cub song on it. It's kind of
Yeah.
it has swear words in it, so it doesn't really count. But like, but
Children's Songs with Swear Words by Tyler S.
Yeah, I mean, I I enjoy novelty music anyway. You know, I kind of grew up on Ray Stevens and Weird Al and stuff like that. And so, like, I'm not against it. I could see myself doing it if I got the itch.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting thought, and I know that again at Milo Music, I'm not like totally stalking Milo Music, but I think it's a great event, and we do a lot of music here, so I'm always looking to what they're doing. They're doing some stuff with kids now, like they have that whole
The education element.
part of it.
Yeah.
And you know, being that I work with kids with music, I never would have wanted to do it until I started doing it.
Yeah.
That's kind of a weird way to say it, but you know, kids tap into a different part of music,
Oh, yeah.
and it just makes you smile when they want to sing or they want to play
Big time.
or they come up with an idea, and I could see you going in that direction.
I think I could do it.
I think it would be an interesting, fun thing, and God knows we need more children's musicians that play decent music.
Probably so.
So, because the parents have to listen to it too.
Yeah, don't
And
I know
so you don't want to just have like Barney music.
that? Or Blippy. Don't even get me started.
Yeah. So I think some musicians have done some of that, some to do it better than others, but that's
Well, I
my
think Jack
assignment for you.
Johnson put out kind of a, I don't know if it was necessarily children's music, but like he soundtracked that Curious George movie.
Oh.
And so like they were, you know, it's a different mindset, you know, like you kind of think about, you know, how are kids gonna, like, can it have actions to it? Is it repetitive?
Yeah.
You know, like, so I could definitely see myself doing that
Yeah.
at some point.
I'll have to check in with you in the future.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean,
Okay, so your last song is called Dry January.
Dry January.
Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that before we sign off? Because I'm sad that this is our last interview section. And before we do that, I just want to shout out to Wayne and Josh in our control booth.
Yeah, thank you,
Our
guys.
producers, they do a wonderful job, and we're getting a wave. Wow, they're actually listening.
How do you like that?
And to the city of Waupaca for having this wonderful community radio station and allowing us to do this.
Yeah,
I'm from
thank
the
you.
Arts Board. It's a collaboration between the Arts Board and, honestly, 96.3, but we also play the show on 99.1, so shout out to Mark Gerlach, and the Grand National Lounge, where we do our post-show show. So after we do our shows, we always go over to the Grand National, and we do some more music and get to know the musicians. So it's been a really fun collaboration, and hope to see you guys in the studio or at the lounge in the future. All right, so let's talk about Dry January.
Yeah, so.
Seeing as how it's January.
Yeah. So this one, especially when I got out of the Christmas mindset, like I had kind of like I'm going through a little bit of like a creative burst right now. And so like the Dry January song, I was kind of thinking about, like I like I mentioned, I quit drinking like 3 years ago, which was, you know, it wasn't like I was casually quitting drinking. It was a problem, you know.
Oh, okay.
And so like,
Sorry about that.
that's okay, you know, and but it's not, you know, it's common. And so I was kind of thinking about in the theme of Dry January and how it's like I've had a lot of like experiences with, you know, like friends who've passed away and stuff like that like are more than, I guess, like the Dry January kind of gimmick of it. Not that it's a gimmick, but that, you know, like it's not like I don't take it all that casually, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And so like I wanted to write a song kind of in that vein, and it's especially coming out of Christmas with like a lot of like joviality. Like I was in kind of I actually was sick, so I was like, it made me sad, and then I wrote a sad song. So that's what this is.
Okay.
And Tom Thiel, like this is actually the first time I've really played it
Okay. Well, you just released it though
today.
today.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So before we even get into that though, and before we leave, your music is on your Facebook page. You also have a web page. What's your web page called?
Tyler-sj.com.
Okay.
And then on all the streamers, it's Tyler SJ.
Okay.
There's another Tyler Showstrom, who has my name.
Showstrom. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, and
Right?
so like there's another guy out of Chicago who's a great guy, so I couldn't beat Tyler Showstrom when I.
Okay, so you're Tyler SJ. And so if you go on the Waupaca Local Live page, you can just scroll down the top things on there are everything Tyler. And so we have your webpage there, we have your Facebook page, we have this song release.
Cool.
Actually, I'm not sure if I put the actual song. I think yesterday I put up the hype about it.
Oh, sure.
So we'll probably put that up too, but also stay tuned. A week from Friday, this broadcast will be on 96.3 radio station at 8 o'clock and 4 more times throughout the month, and also on WAUP. So you'll be hearing Tyler all month. We're really glad that you came to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun.
All right. Dry January.
Dry January.
Jody never known it, but I thought him a friend. Had me by a decade in our house at the end of quiet street where only things that happened seemed to happen to him. Jody never listened, but he listened to me. Tossed me the keys to his Chevy, leaned my bike on a tree. Never cooler than in that June Dakota heat. I long since changed my zip code when I heard where Jody's journey stops, with a backseat full of empties and a Chevy resting on its top. And he'd loved that girl since 17, swore one day they'd marry. I still think of Jody each dry January. Danny had a mischief that you half believed. Still see him with a mohawk in his birdhouse tee that he'd give you off his back, and I would know, 'cause he gave it to me. We'd thrown back a couple when I saw him in school. Never would have known that when he left that stool that the next I'd see him would be a notice where his service would be. I know he loved his children, and I hope they loved him back. I never learned to kickflip for all tries to teach me that. And a body won't count your kindness, says, if it's more than it can carry. I still think about him each dry January. Spent his third birthday on a sheetless bed, wishing that I'd kept a single promise that said, and hoping for the hope to pull myself up off a mat. Remembered something that my dad had told me one summer. Watching someone drown can pull a whole family under, in and out the other till it finally knocked me flat. Years go by and old ghosts try, but haven't found me yet. And I walk those detox hallways with those souls who never left. In a way that my sons only know the man who made it out, but just barely. I still think about that each dry January.